Welcome back everybody for another brand new video. Today we're going to be diving into The Witcher 4, everything we know about it, part 3. We've already done 2 parts to it that I'll tag up above. And we can kind of just mix and match the information we're getting. This new article we found is from laptopmag.com. It was actually published 9 days ago, so that's why I wanted to dive into it with you. So we might hear some repetitive items we've already kind of heard before, but hopefully we can pull some new stuff out of it and just kind of get some more information about The Witcher 4. I know it's a game we've all been very excited for here on the channel. It's actually done very successfully, so I wanted to bring it back because I know we haven't done a Witcher video in about a month. So if you guys do enjoy all the Witcher content as well as just all the other gaming news we cover here, consider dropping a like and a subscription to the channel, as well as just turning on that notification bell so you guys never miss an upload. Now, if you guys remember on The Witcher 4, everything we know about it, part 1, that you guys can check out earlier, I said when we hit YouTube partner and like hit 1,000 subscribers, we'd be doing a giveaway. So I've been looking into getting that set up, and I've finally figured out how to do it. It is a little bit more complicated than I thought, because I thought we could just find like a subscriber wheel and we just spin it and pull one of our active subscribers. So what we have to do is it can pull from comments. So if you guys want to be entered into the giveaway, all you have to do is just leave a comment on this video, and then in the next video, I'll announce who has won that giveaway. And the prizes are kind of open for interpretation. Originally, when I got the new DualSense controller, so we'll either be giving away one of these, and then we'll sort out which color you want. You know, I know the Cosmic Red, and they just announced all the new ones. Or if you're a PC gamer, we can do the Razer Basilisk mouse, as it does tie to the channel. And if you don't need any sort of peripherals, maybe we'll give away a copy of Elden Ring or something. I'll have that discussion with the person who wins. Remember, I need to get in touch with you, so just make sure to follow me on Twitter as well. That's in the description, so I can just reach out to you. If you want to make it easier, just put your Twitter handle as the comment in the video so we can get this giveaway on the go. So without further ado, let's get right into The Witcher 4. So like I said, the article we're pulling from today is from laptopmag.com. It's from Rami Tabari, and it was actually published 9 days ago. The title of it is The Witcher 4, Everything We Know So Far. So since The Witcher 4 is not confirmed, but we know CD Projekt Red is working on another title in the Witcher universe. Unfortunately, there isn't a lot of information out there about The Witcher 4 just yet. The Witcher 4, or whatever the next Witcher game will be called, could be about any number of things. There's plenty of lore that encapsulates the universe and the wonderfully dynamic characters, but while specifics about the game evade us, we have a few ideas about what comes next. And then it says, here's everything we know about The Witcher 4, as well as some things we'd love to see in the next entry. So starting off, it says the Witcher 4 release date. We don't know when The Witcher 4 will launch, but we can confirm that another game in the Witcher franchise is in the works, thanks to CD Projekt Red business strategy report. CD Projekt Red is kicking off a parallel AAA game development strategy starting in 2022. We imagine the team is still working on getting Cyberpunk 2077 patched and upgraded for the next-gen consoles. However, if we had to guess, the next Witcher game is likely going to launch for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S, considering development starts next year. We likely won't see The Witcher 4 until 2026. Why? Because previous Witcher titles needed a 4-year development cycle. Recently, CD Projekt Red delayed the next-gen version of Cyberpunk 2077 and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt until 2022, so it's possibly that The Witcher 4's development might still be delayed as well. And then we did just get the Cyberpunk next-gen upgrade. I did try it, didn't really get into it again. I just can't get into that game. And so we do know, though, that The Witcher 3 DLC for the next-gen upgrades will be coming at the end of like Q2, so hopefully sometime before June. It says The Witcher 4 story. What the story will be about depends on whether the next game is actually a Witcher 4, a direct sequel to the 2015 masterpiece. The possible sequel to The Witcher 3 could focus on several things depending on which ending is canonical. It could also take place before the games, which would cover the events of the books, or it could also be a full-blown remake of The Witcher 1, which may feel is needed. Okay, let's start with the possibility of direct sequel in The Witcher 4. It could either follow a retired Geralt of Rivia in Kovir or beyond, or it could focus on Ciri becoming a Witcher. However, both rely on making choices in The Witcher 3 wholly canonical, like romancing Triss or leading Ciri down the path of a Witcher. As someone who is on board with those specific choices, I don't mind either of them. For me personally, out of this article, like I'm saying, I think for any new Witcher game, I would like the idea of like a build your own Witcher and maybe have like Geralt train you or something, but that's just my personal opinion. If you guys have your own, please leave that down below as well. Despite the CD Projekt Red CEO Adam Kaczynski, I said in an interview with Bankier that the first 3 Witchers were defined by a trilogy, so we simply could not name the next game The Witcher 4. This does not mean, of course, that we will leave the world of The Witcher. While it might not be called The Witcher 4, the next entry could be a sequel to The Witcher 3, kind of like how God of War 2018 is a sequel to its previous trilogy. Then there is a possibility of a Witcher prequel. Since the game takes place after the books, fans who haven't digested the source material might be confused about the references and details throughout the games. Having a game that covers the entirety of the book series would be wonderfully compelling. While this is my least favorite idea, a full remake of The Witcher is a possibility. The original Witcher game is outdated and can use major graphics, gameplay, and voice acting overhaul. I'm not usually a fan of retreading work, but the original Witcher game deserves to be experienced by fans of The Witcher 3. That I agree with. I'd rather not have a remake of a game. I would like a brand new game. And then it says The Witcher 4 gameplay. I love The Witcher 4 gameplay, but the game manages to deliver mediocre combat. I combine this in my Witcher 3 retrospective piece about the game's 5th year anniversary. I'm hoping that CD Projekt Red will finally master The Witcher's combat system. I'm imagining something as fluid as Dark Souls game, but with a little twist to give it that Witcher flair. For me, for the combat in The Witcher, something like how Ghost of Tsushima played would be fantastic. I don't know about Souls-like combat, but I think something with like the swordplay of Ghost of Tsushima would be perfect in the Witcher franchise. I'm also hoping that the skill trees, oils, and potions feel more necessary and present around this time. It always felt like they were an afterthought, not necessarily integral to the core gameplay. On the hardest difficulty, I could defeat most enemies without having to use any important items, and the enemies you fight never seem to play well with the combat mechanics. There were only a handful of fights in the game that worked within the combat system. It says The Witcher 4 PC and recommended requirements. This is going to be rough. People could barely get Cyberpunk 2077 to run. I can't imagine what non-existent beast you'll need to run The Witcher 4 in a year or in 4 or so years from now. For reference, the minimum requirements for Cyberpunk 2077 are an Intel Core i5 3570K or an AMD FX 8310 CPU, 8GB of RAM, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 780 or a Radeon RX 470 GPU. Meanwhile, the recommended specs include an Intel Core i7 4790 or an AMD Ryzen 3 3200G CPU, 12GB of RAM, GTX 1060 6GB, GTX 1660 Super or a Radeon RX 590 GPU. And then it says, I have a feeling that NVIDIA's RTX 30 series are going to end up on these lists considering how far away The Witcher is. And we all know that the 30 series is something hard to get your hands on right now with aftermarket prices. And then the outlook of this article says there's a lot that we don't know about The Witcher 4, but a new game is coming. I hope CD Projekt learns a lot from its previous mistakes and provides more inclusive look into the Witcher franchise, much like what the Netflix series did. There's still a lot of time before we see anything attached to this new Witcher title, but hopefully the studio cooks this one in the oven long enough. So this article did have some like newer points to it. We already know that the CEO of CD Projekt Red did kind of confirm that a new Witcher game is coming. The 3 takes on the stories I liked, because I know a lot of people in our comments always say, I'm not playing if it's not Geralt. I'm not playing if Geralt isn't the main character. I'm not playing if Ciri is the main character. And I can understand people's frustrations playing a trilogy with the main character and then the next game he's not in it. But with it being a trilogy, they did say that Geralt's story is over. And that's where I bid the question of like, can we get a create your own character type of thing? Because for the longest time, especially playing The Witcher 3, you always played the main character that they wanted you to play. But in a thing where you have a school that teaches you different abilities and stuff like that, it might be cool to be like trained from the ground up and create your own Witcher. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I think it'll make the world of The Witcher a little bit more immersive. Especially with the new forms of content now. You have the show, you have that prequel movie with Vesemir, you do have a book series. Like, it'll be easier to live in that world and feel more immersed in it when you kind of have your own piece of the pie there. But that's really all the new updates we have for The Witcher 4. I hope I provided some new ones for you guys. If you guys have any more, like I said, leave them down below. Let me know your take on how you want The Witcher 4 to go, whether it be playing as Geralt or Ciri, a prequel or a remake. And then again, with the giveaway, make sure to just put your Twitter handle or some form of contact, I guess, so we can get in touch with you for it in the comments. But you have to be commenting to be entered in the giveaway, and as well as subscribe to the channel. It's just the most fair way to do it. But I do hope you guys did enjoy this video. Smash the thumbs up button if you did. Consider subscribing here if you guys are new to the channel and want to stay up to date on all the latest gaming news we cover here. And just turn on that notification bell so you guys never miss an upload. As always, my name is Ross, and I will see you guys in the next video.